Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Anna. I am in London today and I am excited to lead you today. Hi. Basically, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to talk about the strong feminine. The strong feminine is my definition of the feminine is not the definition that you see a lot online. A lot of the time we talk about feminine, we talk about being soft and being gentle and receiving and basically being passive and letting other people decide for us. And I don't like that. I think we can be feminine, we can be sensual, we can be connected to our body, and we can create our life. We can have the spotlight on us, we can decide what's good for us, and we can make it happen. So the reason I love to work with women who get shit done and have their life together and have responsibilities and they are dependable, the reason I love to work with those is because those are usually really good in making things happen, right? So that means that when you do the work with me or with another coach, things will happen. You're not flaky, you're not all over the place. Usually, when you decide something, you do it. And I like this energy. And I believe in having a strong feminine, which we will talk about what that means. But I also believe in having a strong masculine. In fact, I believe that's the best. That's the best. I think the powerful women in this world are the one who are very comfortable in their body. They're sensual, but not in a, in your face, vulgar way. They're like just in the way they move, in the way they are. They have like an aura, an energy. So they're very in their feminine, they're very intuitive, they're spontaneous. But at the same time, those women have a strong masculine. They know how to be strategic, they're strategist in their mind. They know how to organize and deliver. And so I believe that's the magic recipe. Generally, my approach is that you don't need to balance things between your masculine and your feminine. You don't need to reduce your masculine in order to carve space for the feminine. I believe that, in fact, I believe in abundance. The more masculine you have, the more you can have the feminine. What do I mean by masculine, feminine? And then after that, I'll tell you what we will do. I will introduce myself, but this is to kind of frame what we're talking about today. So you see, I'm like so into it. I went right into it. The feminine in my mind is being, in the flow, very in the body. It's sense, like you have your senses activated. You're intuitive. You're kind of like dancing through life, like you're like. The masculine is more strategic, linear. There's usually one thing. Woman, like the feminine, is more a lot of things. It's also competitive and more like go get it, like more direct. So this is more the masculine. And by the way, I use those terms. Those are just stereotypes, or those are just tools that we use. It's not really about gender. It's to do with your energy. And if you're not comfortable with the term feminine, masculine, you can think of the yin and the yang. You can think of the day and the night. It's just the idea of polarity. So, yeah. I'm going to guide you through a mini grounding visualization, like just a few minutes because we only have limited time. This is just to ground you. I'm going to tell you who I am and why I do this and how it's connected. And then I'm going to reveal my 3-step method. It's basically a method I created. It's called the Strong Feminine. It has changed name, but before it was the Badass Woman. Now it's the Strong Feminine. And it's a method I created and I tested and I delivered over and over and over with many clients. And that's the method that I believe will get you to your ultimate strong feminine. Do not worry, I'm not going to be like pitching you the entire time, like, but I will, obviously, my goal is to meet the right clients. That's also why I'm doing this workshop. But my goal is also, and I guess first, is to get you to your next level. I really have it in me. I really believe women, especially with the world these days, we need to be louder in this world. I believe we need to be stronger women, like in the sense that we need to be shaping the world as much as it is shaped for the men. It needs to be shaped for us. And the way we do that is by putting the spotlight on us and going for it. So I really believe deeply in my core that the world will be a better place if women are comfortable with who they are and safe. They feel safe in themselves, safe in the world to express themselves. So even if you don't want to work with me, even if I don't think we're a good fit, I want you to take as much as you can today and share the word, share the message with the world, and of course put your spin into whatever I say. You can shape it, you can take, you can do whatever you want. So I'm seeing Aries message, want to feel, oh, she's from Lapland, northern Finland, in Lapland. Want to feel feminine in me, in my body, fullest, live in real life, not only on my mind. I will address all of that. I love your message. Let's take a second, everyone, to ground ourselves. I invite you, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes for a few minutes and breathe. And I'm going to do it with you. We're just going to connect with our body, feel comfortable in our body, and just breathe, basically. So you can inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, like 2 or 3 times. Big sighs. And just listen to the sound of my voice. Just let yourself be guided. Relax your body into the couch, into the seat, wherever you are. You don't need to hold your body as tight or as tense. You can surrender, let gravity hold you, and breathe. And you don't force the breathing. You listen to the body. How does the body want to breathe? And feel the fresh air coming into your lungs, into your throat, your nose. And see if your body wants to relax the face a little bit, maybe the jaw, the neck. Maybe your body wants to stretch. I like to stretch. Usually I like to move around. It doesn't need to be static and stiff. So this is the time where you listen to your body. If you want to stretch and yawn, this could be your second wake up time. Good morning again. This is your chance to wake up a second time with an intention. So see what intention do you have here? What's your word? What's your feeling, that something you want to get out of this hour we have together? And this can be something that comes from your mind, but it can also be an intention that your body is telling you. So listen. And if nothing comes up, that's completely fine. But maybe your body wants to feel like bubbly and bouncy, and maybe your body's excited, or maybe your body is like wanting to feel rested and mellow and calm. So just listen to what is your body craving today at this moment. And just in your mind, make a note of that. And now, when we talk about the feminine, the ultimate feminine energy, with your eyes closed and still staying in that state of mindfulness, I want you to see what happens in your body and in your mind when you think of that concept of feminine, the ultimate feminine, being sensual. Is there any resistance, any anxiety, hesitation that comes up just by even thinking about that concept? And you can do a body scan, so kind of assess if your body holds any resistance to this concept anywhere. And resistance can take the shape of tension, anxiety, tightness, maybe in the throat, or heaviness in the chest. Emotion could be sadness, a bit of like a fear of missing out. But it can also be impatience, like you're not really into this, resistance, like, you're like distracted, you're finding hard to focus. All of these things that I mentioned this is information. This is information from your body telling you whether it's excited or anxious about this concept of being in your body, being in your feminine. And for many women, it's a loaded topic. So don't judge it, whatever is coming up. Just be in it, just accept it, just recognize it. And make a note of it in your mind. And now we're staying in that energy, and we're going to visualize a future self. This is you in 12 months. You've done the work, you're feeling very powerful, you're feeling so feminine, sensual, you're comfortable in your own skin, you're glowing. So I want you to visualize a silhouette of that person, that magnetic self. This is in 12 months' time. It's your future self. So visualize what she looks like. Where is she? She might be in nature or by the water. She's walking. You can see her walking. You can observe how she walks. And maybe it's a very blurry vision that you have, or maybe it's a very clear picture. Like everyone is different. Maybe you're not even seeing her. Maybe you're just feeling her energy or seeing some light or color. So go with it. Visualize that. Imagine you're walking behind her and you're seeing that silhouette ahead of you. And you can see her aura. You can see the color of the light of the feminine. What color is it? And what temperature is there? Like, is it warm? Is it fresh? And you're walking closer to her, to your future self. And now you're looking at her face to face. You're in front of her. Look at how she looks at the world. What's her gaze? How does she look at the world? What's her facial expression? Be curious about her. Just observe her. And now you can feel her energy because you're so close to her. And I want you to feel her energy. What does it feel like? Take it in. Give yourself permission to receive that energy, to take it. And now just see if she's got a message for you. It might be a gift, an object, it might be a thought. Receive it. And you can say goodbye and you can tell her you're going to visit her again in the future. Now we're going to take a deep inhale all together. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. One more time. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And come back. You can open your eyes. Come back to us. And I invite you to shake it. Shake everything up for a second. So you can get up if you want, or you can stay seated. I'm standing, so I'm going to shake it. Take a second to stretch. Bend over maybe. Maybe your body's cracking like mine. Oh, welcome back. So I would love for you to share in the chat if there was any message, anything that happened for you. Was it helpful? Maybe it didn't work at all. Maybe you were not into it, and that's completely fine. You can also say that in the chat. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Carrie cried. Every time I get into my feminine, people around me get defensive and aggressive. Okay. Yes, Carrie. Thanks for sharing. This is often very loaded for women to be in their feminine. And when I work with women in small groups, and there's always like some emotion that gets released because I think many, like, we live in a world where being a woman is deep down, it's almost like shameful. We should try to be like a man. If we want to be successful in life, we need to leave the feminine aside. And often, women, we've been victim of all sort of abuse as well. So it's often a very loaded thing. So I don't take this lightly. Olivia, comforting energy, lovely. Loana, very bright and happy, the top part of your body, and when you reach the heart, it turn intense, fear and sadness. Yeah, you see, same here. One on a calmer way, but still with melancholical tint. Okay, Loana, that's good that you're able to, break it apart kind of and see what's happening where and all of that. So in my work, I do a lot of this, but like way deeper. I love visualizations. I love it. I get you to visualize all sorts of version of you. And I work a lot with archetypes, where we visualize your queen self, your femme fatale, your dominatrix, all of those, like lots of different archetypes, because it's always a really good way to learn about us through kind of those role models in a way. Sarah, let go and get out of my fight mode. I can be calm and happy me again. Yes. Thank you for sharing, everyone, and keep sharing, keep commenting. So I want to show you, I want to tell you why I'm doing this and like why do I work with women who are in their doing mode. So I see, you have the doing mode, which is often associated with the masculine. And then you have the being mode, which is the feminine. It doesn't mean you do nothing. You can be doing, you can be in your doing mode, but then there are moments and approach and relationship where you're more in the being. And it's almost like a layer, you have a layer of being, and then you can be doing. And the reason I coach on that is because I see myself and I've experienced through my life being in my strong masculine and being in my strong feminine. And I feel like I really have explored this extensively through different stages of my life. And I love supporting women in doing that. So I'm from France originally. I live in London. I've been living like in Canada. I've been living in different places in the world. But I was raised in a family of women, my mom and my grandma, and they let me be completely free to be myself, too free. But the great side of this is like I was very into being sexy and being playing with my femininity, not in a bad way, but like in a playful way. And I started dancing very young in nightclubs. And I was also studying. So I studied law I did a master's in law. Then I decided to stop the studying and I went into stripping. I became a stripper and I have done that for many years, like 8 years of stripping, but then pole dancing, stage dancing, lots of things. So altogether, it's 18 years of dancing career. And I danced around the world. It was absolutely amazing. And I've always danced from a place of power, like a place of like, I know who I am and I can play with it. I want to explore it. I want to be seen as my ultimate sexy feminine. And I want to play with that energy. And I've always been interested in that. But then at 34, I stopped dancing. I had done that for long enough. So now I'm 44. And I went into the nonprofit sector. I created a charity. I won awards. I did that for 10 years. I worked in the social enterprise sector, which is all about social impact. Very meaningful work, completely different. And so between my law studies and the social enterprise nonprofit background, I was very much in my masculine. So when I created the charity, hired staff, fundraised over 2 million, like it was so like masculine, go, go, go. And I honestly, for those 10 years, and when I studied law, I was really struggling to be in my body, stay connected to my feminine. And my relationship, I was for many, many years with somebody, it wasn't working. I felt like he was actually quite in his feminine. I ended up being in my masculine, like many relationship, many women. It was a lot, and I had migraines, and I was sad, and it just wasn't working. So, but at the same time, when I was dancing, I was very much in my feminine. I was feeling like the light was on me, like I was glowing, kind of. Not to say it's perfect or anything, but so anyway, all of that to say that I feel like I really went far into both, and I've learned so much throughout these experiences. And I started coaching years ago, and so now I really know this topic really well. And I created this method, which is the strong feminine self. And I like to work in small group over 3 months because it's the best format in terms of if you want result, you need to commit to doing the work of weeks after weeks after weeks because you want to have good weeks and you want to have bad weeks throughout the whole process. So I'm going to share with you the structure of this method and I'm going to go through the points and you will see that it's going to help you with all the things you shared. This is the strong feminine method. And you can see at the middle, it's like a ball of light or fire or whatever. For me, this feels like it's the life force. This is like aliveness. This is the power of life, you know. This is very deep in me, and I love this so much. I paint a lot, like um, I paint those colors. I'm obsessed with these colors. That being said, everyone is different. Some people, you know, the feminine might be green, blue, the water, you know, everyone is different. So I really encourage you to spend time a bit like, what does it feel like for me to be in my feminine? What's the color scheme? What's the feel of it? And we did a bit of that in the visualization, but you can go a lot deeper with it. So this method has 3 chapters. Be free, be sensual, and be bold. And I'm going to go and explain to you each. And I invite you to take note, whatever you need to you can take this and start thinking in those terms, because this is a proven method in the sense I've done it so many times and I can really see a before and after results in my clients. So if you work with me, amazing. You and I can go really far and I will get you to that vision of yourself in 12 months, but I will get to you in 3 months. You're going to speed up, you're going to learn a lot. But if if you're not in a place where you can work with me, because it's a bit of a premium program that I offer, if you're not in that place, that's fine. Just take as much as you can. So be free. I like to start with this one because the signs that you're not actually that free are you worry what people think. You feel like everyone energy around you impacts you. It feels like the walls are not big enough, you know. So as a result, you try to have like stronger boundaries, and it comes across as wrong and da da da. And you're not actually truly independent in your energy, in your decision. A lot of the time, when women are not truly embracing their strong feminine, they ask for permission around them, like not obviously, but like a little bit. It's like, oh, do you think this suits me? I don't know. Can I wear this? No, you know what? Don't ask anyone. Just wear what the hell you want. Like what you feel good in. Things like that are tiny details, but actually they show a sign that in fact you're not truly confident in your feminine. Other signs can be, um, yeah, you kind of give your power away. So when you wear something, let's say quite feminine and stuff, like often you will hear women, oh, but I'm worried I attract the wrong kind of people on the street, ta ta ta. The truth is, yeah, maybe you will, but actually often you won't, because if you're really in your feminine and you're strong about it, people feel it. And I can guarantee you that people don't mess around with you when you feel really good and very comfortable in what you're wearing, what you look like, who you are. So what I'm talking about when you break free is you learn to give yourself permission to be your full self. This is so important, your full self. So some people put that in the comment earlier. So being your full self is permission to be all aspects of yourself. So I'm like seeing like it's like I don't know how you call what I'm doing with my hand, but like it's like a big opening. Like you see all the spectrum of who you are, all aspects of yourself. That means your shadows as well. That means your inner child. That means your playful feminine. That means all aspects of yourself. It can mean, and so there's work to be done. And that's what I do. I work with you to see your full self, feel your full self. How do you accept your full self? That's a big part of the work. And society, religion, there's so many layers that are preventing you from embracing your full self. There's a lot of work to be done. Break free from the good girl conditioning. It's okay to want to seduce sometimes. It's okay to want to be liked. It's okay to, there's a lot of good girl conditioning that is so ingrained in us, and there's work to be done around that. And then I like to think about the queen as the archetype. The archetype of the woman who is free is, in my mind, a queen, but she can take so many shapes. But you can imagine her at the top of her kingdom, and she's got this posture where she's like glowing and she's grounded. It's like a groundedness, but at the same time, she's open for the kingdom. She's interacting with people. People want to be around her. She's powerful and she's free. An example is my client Anna. I worked with her on the strong feminine method over 12 weeks, and she was very confident on the outside, in the sense that she had a job with responsibilities, raised 3 kids, married, good relationship. Like things were actually pretty good in her life, but she never explored her feminine. She was wearing really boring stuff, like just basically black plain clothes every day. And she was like, I just want to wear like the flowery dress. I want to wear red. I want to feel like I'm being seen as a woman, not just as a productive being. And we worked together, and it was a very beautiful journey. She felt a lot of, you know, tension in the throat. Like there was a lot of like embodiment work that needed to happen. So she kind of liberated that. And at the end, like between the beginning and the end, like the before after, like just even on camera, on calls was like shocking. And she discovered actually she loves red, and she bought lots of red, and she started to change her routine, like every day, how it looks like. But she still had, 3 kids and a husband and a full-time job. So it's not like she had to change anything really, but it was more like tiny tweaks that completely gave her permission to be her full self and stop trying to be the good girl for everyone. So that was an amazing transformation. I actually have a video of testimonial on my website if you want to check. Just because I have some videos like that, I need to add more because it can be really inspiring to hear other women going through a process like that and how that worked for them and what changed. So I want to ask you in the chat, please do it. Commit. You're here with me, so commit all the way. What would change in your life if you felt more free, if you were your full self? What would happen in your life? What would happen if you embraced your full feminine free self? I invite you to be specific as well every time. So like when I say what would happen, I want you to say my relationship would improve because of this, this and that, or maybe I would have less tension at home, or maybe I would, what would happen concretely? Loana, I would waste less energy trying to convince, yes, that I am worthy. Yes. The thing is, you probably need to convince yourself first that you're worthy. Once you're convinced that you're worthy, people see it because you carry it with you, the way you talk, the way you move, the way your posture. Right away, people are like, oh, okay, okay, I'm not going to mess with that person. There is really, truly a non-verbal as well communication. So it's about seeing it for yourself first. And this takes work. This takes process. It's relearning, relearning. Sarah, stop trying to impress, please, men. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I could do a whole program on relationships. Like trying to impress, please, men in relationship. Yes. So there is a sense of groundedness in my mind. When we think of that, it's like, how do I, as a partner in a relationship, how do I stay grounded, true to myself? Like, and I love to think of the queen. It helps me. The queen. Imagine her on the throne. She's not like, trying to make it work and fixing things and worrying. No, she's like grounded. And so we'll talk about the dominatrix, and that will help you as well. I only work with women who have done some work on themselves, like they've seen whatever form it takes. I'm assuming most of you have done some sort of work on yourself. And the work to embrace that side of you doesn't need to be as heavy as you think, actually. There is, I think we neglect the, as I like to call it, asset-based approach. Let's focus on your assets. Let's focus on what works for you, what is special about you, what is, what you have, and let's build on that. So, Kerry, like this work can be actually quite enjoyable. And then you will see that once you start feeling good about, like, I don't know, it's just a long thing to explain, but basically, this work can really transform how people react around you. Olivia, I would handle conflict in a better way. Yeah, absolutely, Olivia. Similar, that sense of groundedness as well. When there's conflict, we don't flip, we stay grounded. I used to have lots of fight with my partner, and I wish I had known what I know now. Suzanne would be brave enough to be more visible in my work. Yes. And I even want to know more, Suzanne, like you can, if you want, you can share with us in writing, what does it mean to be more visible in your work, for instance? Comfortable with being happy. So the thing is like, I am very feminine in myself. Lovely, Kerry. So the second thing I want to talk about is being sensual. Being sensual, you can even being feminine, being sensual, like I'm talking kind of a broad definition of those terms. When women are not fully embracing their sensual self, they often say they're too much in their head. In fact, some of you already shared that with me. You're too much in your head, you're overthinking, analyzing everything. That's one sign. You're very masculine in your relationship. So you took the role of the manager at home, emotional labor. Sadly, even the best of us is victim of that. I think it's a big problem. I think, it's not necessarily your fault if you ended up being the home manager. But at the end of the day, the solutions lies with you in the sense that you can only work on yourself. So there's work we can do so that we shift that dynamic. And then you're compensating often with unhealthy behavior, which is something I've done for years as well. And the reason, like addiction or bad habits that you can't seem to get a hold of, it's often, all of that is because you live in your head, you're very much in your masculine, your analytic, strategic, thinking through everything, and you think that everything needs to be processed through your head. You need to relearn to shift back to your body. My approach to that is you engage with your senses first. That's very important. Re-engage your senses. We are animals. At the end of the day, we're supposed to be outside in the wild, smelling nature, touching texture, feeling the cold, feeling the wet, feeling the warm. We're supposed to be feeling much more than we are nowadays. And so you need to go back to that. You need to go back to engaging in your senses. Sensuality comes from the word sense. So the way to be sensual as a woman is to start by reactivating your senses, indulging with your senses, smelling a good perfume, taking time to put lotion on you, whatever that means to you. Looking, beauty for me is super important. It feeds me, it feeds my soul. What do I give myself the means? Am I actually seeking beauty? Am I creating beauty around me? It's my responsibility to do that. No one else should be doing that for you. You're responsible to making it happen. Of course, you can use people in a good way, but like, you can use relationship people, you can use men to give you that, but you've got to be asking, you've got to be seeking. So I'm teaching you when you work with me, but again, you can do it on your own, but it's going to take longer and everything. But channel your feminine from your body. Your feminine is in your body. It's just trapped. So dance, put some music, indulge in sound, indulge in movement, indulge in different temperatures, different tastes, different everything. And I guarantee you, if you reinject that in your day-to-day, you're already going to start feeling more alive. And naturally, your brain will surrender a little bit. Your body needs to express itself. If you don't, you're feeling the pain. Pain is a way for your body to speak to you. You know that. It's pain or pleasure. Your body speaks to you two ways. Either it feels pleasure or it feels pain. Super important. Feed it with pleasure so you will avoid the pain. Your body needs to be taken care of. You need to think of it as like, I need to, so for instance, I go to the gym every day. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying for me, it's a way to indulge my body. Otherwise, I work on the laptop all day. I work online. I'm all in my head. I'm in my masculine. I need to go into my feminine. I need to be in my body. I need to go exercise every day. It's like a treat for my body. That's how I reframed exercising. Seduction, playfulness, that's another element of the sensual. So what I mean by that is once you embrace your sensual feminine self, you don't need to be serious. You don't need to be serious and pretentious. You can actually be playful. This is an exploration. This is an adventure. So this is something you need to learn as well. So how do you approach that from a playful self? I want to ask you, everyone. Oh yeah, last one, I forgot to say. So for me, the archetype of the sensual is the femme fatale. The femme fatale is very triggering for many of my clients. We have a session on the femme fatale and they're often dreading it. And I mean, me, I'm like, I love the femme fatale. But like, let's be playful. Let's be the femme fatale. What can you get when you're in your femme fatale energy? Let's be playful. It doesn't need to be like you're crushing someone else. Can be no, like let's be playful. Do you want to play a game with me? I'm going to be in my femme fatale. What does she look like? What does she feel like? What does she, you know? I would love, yeah, one example is my client Liz, who I love. She's done the work as well. She's done all my programs and she joined me because and maybe you can identify with her. She had kids, very high responsibility work. She's a CEO of a big company. She's got 3 kids, lots going on, but she was feeling like with her husband, there was like tension. So it's not like it was bad, but they were almost like competing in their energy. She felt like there were lots of little like, did you do the dishes? Did you do this? Like like a daily routine that was unpleasant. And she joined my work because she wanted to work on that. And she felt like she was probably too much in her masculine. So we explored, we did the work. She learned to re-embrace her sensual self, the femme fatale, the playful. For her, that was big, is that concept of playfulness. And she rethought her life, like her every day. How can I be more playful in my day? So for her, for instance, I know it sounds so superficial, but it really did a shift for her. It was like her nails. Like she realized that for her, it gives her so much pleasure and she loved changing her nails color. And she's got a great job. She can afford it. Every week she would go and get a different, and those like she reinjected a lot of little pleasures like that were not necessarily taking a lot of time, but it changed how she showed up. And that meant that with her husband, they felt like she was more in her feminine, which gave him permission to be more in his masculine. Because a strong feminine often calls to a strong masculine. And she ended up feeling like with her playfulness, they were able to diffuse the tension, if you see what I mean. Like when there's a bit of tension around the dishes or things, they were not competing anymore. She was like, ah, da, 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 like kind of playful, lighter. And it completely changed the dynamic. And it changed how she managed people at work, like everything. My question for you all, what would happen if you did this work and you were more in your sensual? What would happen? Suzanne, I was invisible as a child to be safe. I now ready to lead women's circle again, but feel nervous about other projecting their insecurities into me. Yes. I'm trying to think how to answer that, but like, I think again, like, it's like, being more, when I think of when we're in our feminine, I think of a bubble. Like for me, it's like a golden bubble around me. And I do this exercise a lot about the golden bubble. I think I even have one on YouTube, a visualization, maybe you can check. It's like a golden bubble, but it's not a hard shell. It's a bouncy bubble. And so when I think of my energy, my boundaries, my insecurities, it's all good. People can play, we can play with it. It's not like, so I know it's very abstract, Suzanne, but just an invitation to see this like that, like insecurities, like those are shadows. It's okay. Like you can hold space for people. It doesn't, yeah, it's a bigger conversation. And if you and I get to talk, we can go deeper into that. But Olivia, I would be more relaxed with my partner. Absolutely. I would be so much happier. So Carrie, be more specific if you can. Um, what specific aspect would be happier? Like what would change? Sarah, I think I would enjoy more parts of my life. Olivia, okay, yeah, no problem. Suzanne, that's so close how I live. Yes, I saw that. I thought about that, Kerry. So that's why I'm like comments and like everyone's, because a lot of us have lived similar things. Okay, so let me move on to the last part, because this is very important. Because Be Bold is about taking action. Super important. Yes, we do mindset work. Yes, we work on ourselves. We do all these workshops. We even go to retreats. Are we actually implementing that into the day-to-day? Are we changing our day-to-day with those new learnings? I want to tell you the signs so often is you've done the work, but you're not actually seeing changes in your life. So you know all of that in theory, you heard it before, but have you actually implemented it? You're not sure how that worked for you. So a big part of this work is to integrate in a deeper way. When I say integrate, it's like feeling it, like, but also actioning on it. And because you're a woman who see herself very much in her masculine, chances are if you learn to integrate that deeply, you're going to implement it very quickly. Do you see what I mean? So it's almost like there's the learning, there is the integration, which is like merging the learning and you, and then there is the implementation. You're good at implementation, you're good at learning. Now you need help with integrating. So the feminine and the masculine, the way I see the feminine and the masculine is like an onion. I'm going to show you quickly. This is an onion. The masculine is the red. It's the outside shell. Those are more solid. They're more like a boundaries. Inside you have your feminine, which is a very alive, bright, but it's a bit more, fragile. Like, of course, it's the feminine, it's more delicate. It needs the protection, but that's you. That's not a man and that's you within you. You have the masculine, you can hold a strong feminine. So this is my approach. And I'm talking about grounded confidence. Your actions are aligned. because they reflect who you are. They reflect your magnetic self. In order to do that, you need to feel magnetic. In order to feel magnetic, you need to do the work and you need to repeat and repeat and repeat. You need to be in that momentum. And every day you learn to be in your feminine until it's your identity. There needs to be an identity shift. You need to see yourself as a strong feminine being. If you want everyone else to see you this way, and if you want your actions to reflect that. And I love to think of the dominatrix. I love the archetype of the dominatrix, which I see as the ultimate strong feminine. The dominatrix is not in the doing. She's in the do that. I want you to do this. I want you to please me. I want you to give me pleasure. The dominatrix is from a place of, I'm seeking pleasure for myself. Are you lucky enough, people around me, to be part of this? So it's a complete shift, and it's a very playful mode, and I think it's actually very healthy to be able to think this way sometimes for some scenarios. Okay, I want you to tell me what would happen if you felt like you were more bold, if you were taking those aligned action. I want you to tell me, what action would you take? What would happen? Carrie, what I'm reading in your comments is that the focus is on people. I can see the spotlight. For you, your spotlight is on people. The work is to learn. The spotlight is on you. You're in the driver's seat of your life. There needs to be a shift around that, and that takes work, but who cares what people think? Who cares what, like, honestly, who cares? Like, there is a shift that needs to happen in like shifting the spotlight. You're in the driver's seat and only you can take care of yourself. Suzanne, I love it. Authentic communication with my partner. I love it. It's specific. Very good. Sarah, I would be braver in asking for my needs to be met and more confident in asking. Yes, Sarah. And there is an art to it. When it comes from a place of groundedness and knowing who you are and playfulness, you will see that asking people is completely fine. It's not like a harsh thing. It's not like a masculine thing. And you will also see, Suzanne, that, Sarah, you will also see that you ask with, you're not attached. So if people are like, yeah, I don't want to do that, yeah, whatever, someone else will be, like there's this aspect of like, you're lucky that I'm asking you, like it's just a game. I would be more decisive and not wait for external motivation. Absolutely. Like also not asking for permission. That's a big one. Like it's a subtle thing, but a lot of women were asking for permission a lot of the time. Like I see when I used to work with men, like when I'm like, hey, do you want to invest in coaching? They were like, yeah, sure, I'm doing it. Women, a lot of the time, oh, let me talk to my husband. Let me talk to my sister. They're seeking validation. It's like, but you know what? Like, this is your decision. Your spotlight is on you. The boldness is something I experienced myself with my coaching. In the past, I think when I started coaching, I wasn't showing up as fully myself. And I was, of course, like everyone, a little bit worried of everyone else's judgment. Because, when you're a coach, you have to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out on social media. You have to reach out to people. You really have to put yourself out there. And it's the same when I was dancing. When you're a stripper, you have to sell your dances. As you might have got my email about that. I have an email about that, where I explain like you have to sell your dances. And you're literally almost naked. You are really selling your energy. It's like, okay, and you have to learn rejection and public rejection, because everyone sees when people say no to you. You have to learn to rebound bounce back. Okay, rejected. Because, in one night you get 100 no's. You get 10 no's, one yes, 10 no's, whatever. You have to learn this. This is something I've learned. And this is something I teach now. Is like, how do you feel strong in your feminine? And this is something you learn. This is an energy. This is like a daring, playful, like it's so fun. It's so fun. This is about putting the spotlight on you and actually wanting it and enjoying it and actually even um, being loud about it. It's okay to have the spotlight on you. It's my own life. I should have the spotlight on my own life. Everyone should have the spotlight on their own life. So there is like comfort, sorry, being comfortable with that. That's what I mean. So I want you to tell me what's the one thing that you're like, yes, like this resonates for me so far. What's the one thing that you take away with you? I want you to share that with me, please. The thing I learned as well is at the end of the day, nobody cares about what you do. Nobody cares. Like, it doesn't matter in this world. We're like 7 billion people. Who cares if I share like a silly post or say something dumb? When you describe being in your feminine, I feel a sense of freedom. Yes, yes. So, welcoming the spotlight. Love it, Susan. Love it. That's what I was trying to say. So, something I want to share with you, and I will read your comments in a second, like a bit more, but like, it's also like, where is it? Oh, yeah, it's here. What works? So this is my method, and I'm going to tell you how I work. And again, if you work with me, if we meet and we feel like we can work together, amazing. If not, it's all good. But I want you to remember that because that's very important. What works, and I know because I've done it for years, what works is being guided step by step. You don't need to be alone in this process. You can, but you're just making your life way harder in like learning to be your full self, your feminine. You can have somebody like me holding the space for you. I will be your masculine. So you can embrace your feminine in a safe space. The second point is community and role model. You need a community around you. You need other women who are a step ahead of you. You need role models. You need women who are, you see, I'm sure today seeing other people's comment actually similar to yours is probably feeling good. There is a need for community and role model and guidance. There is a method. It's not like, oh, I will do this, I'll do that. It's all over the place. You need to take yourself seriously in that way. Like, give yourself the means. Momentum. That's another one. Momentum. You need momentum. There will be good and bad weeks, good days, bad days. You need to understand that, and you need other people to carry that momentum so that the weeks that are hard, you're still being lifted. So that's my job. I'm here for that. That's exactly what I do. And the last one is being seen. You need to learn to be seen in a healthy, safe environment. That's why I create small groups, 4 women, 4 or 5 women with me. We're like 5 people. Basically, we're like smaller group than even today. We meet every week and you're being seen. You're exploring that version of you in a safe way. And you have little exercise and challenges that you practice every week and you report back to the group. It's very deep, but it's also very fun. So I want to invite you, everyone, to book a call with me for free as like it's like your next step. It's a gift. It's a free consultation. It's not like a coaching session, it's a consultation. We look at what needs to happen for you in order to get to the next step. We're also going to assess whether we're a good fit to work together. I will say, do not book if you're not in a place where you're ready to actually prioritize yourself. It doesn't mean it's the only priority in your life, but I want you to be like, okay, for the next 3 months, it's actually a 6-month container. I'm ready to actually give myself the means to succeed. Do not book if you're not there because that's a waste of your time and my time. The second thing I want you to know before you book is I want you to be in a place where you're ready to invest financially. Doesn't mean it's with me. Maybe at the end of the call, we're like, yeah, great, but not together. That's fine. But if you're not ready to invest financially, sorry, but you're not, the truth is it's like anything. You need to actually commit financially and commit time and energy into something if you want it to work. If you want quality, if you want support, you need to invest money. And my program is, it's small groups, so it's not like the cheapest thing. It's not like crazy, but you do need to be in a place where you want to invest. Those are the conditions. But I would love to meet you. I would love to take this to the next stage, have a discussion, what it looks like for you to do this work, whether it's with me or not. I can see, Carrie, you're being emotional. You're safe here. You're safe. I see a lot of emotions being released when we do sessions. And it's an invitation for everyone is to embrace that. If you need a good cry after this, give yourself a good cry. If you need to dance and feel and cry, whatever you need, like it's all good. So a big part of my work is to allow yourself to be yourself. So if it's a sad version of you that needs to be seen, it's a sad version of you. We're not going to try to wipe and move on to the next thing. No, you're being seen today by all these lovely people. You're sad, you need to be seen, and you're being seen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.